Welcome back, and of course we need citizens' advice more than ever at times like this. Mollie Howarth, thank you for popping in. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm a little bit unnerved, but I'm okay.
We're all kind of walking around on tenterhooks at the moment, aren't we? Citizens' Advice Bureau, some offices down, but Hornby office is still open.
Hornby office
and
is still open, still operating. The phone number is 3495236. We're not sure about whether our 0800 number is actually getting through to us, so it's important that people phone that phone number there, and there are people there manning the phones to help them with their inquiries.
And of course it brings around a whole host of new inquiries, aside from the obvious that most of the other emergency services will be dealing with for us, but issues to do with our home, and you were mentioning also in our rental properties and wanting to get out of those.
There's actually going to be some long-term effects arising out of the situation that happened on Saturday. There's going to be some people that are in their flats, and there may be big cracks in the walls, big cracks in the roofs. They may not have power, they may not have sewage, they may feel really unsafe living there, and they may be wanting to look at breaking their tenancies, and in that instance they really need to phone the Department of Building and Housing for their information and advice. We phoned them yesterday on behalf of someone. At that stage they were saying that first the property has to be deemed uninhabitable,
yes,
unlivable by the local authority, which is the City Council, so they do need to ring that hotline number and get them in to come in and do an inspection. But there will be that grey area between, is this place livable, is it not livable, is it just because I'm feeling insecure and uncomfortable, and there will be consequences for landlords out of that. Some tenants won't actually be able to work, so they may not actually have money to pay their rent. The flow-on effect from that is some landlords may not have money to pay their mortgages, so in those instances they really need to go to their banks and start talking now if they think that that is a possibility, rather than letting the situation just occur and there being sort of severe penalties. Actually having a discussion with them. I know one of the banks was advertising on the radio saying that they were prepared to offer look at different options for people. So I'd really suggest that people get on and do that. There's going to be stuff like insurances coming out of all, insurance claims and things like that. One of the best pieces of information I can give to people is if they actually take photos of the damage. And on the Earthquake Commission website yesterday, they were actually saying that if you've got something that needs immediate repair, like your sewer pipe or something really kind of crucial that will prevent further damage, like a broken window, so that you're not going to get damp inside the house and carpets ruined, drapes ruined, etc. You can actually go and get that done, but you should really keep your receipts. And when people are feeling distressed or worried, they're not necessarily going to be thinking about keeping those receipts.
No, that's exactly right. And it's not really in the right place, is it?
No, and it's really important to actually, I know it is distressing and unnerving, but to actually keep those receipts, to have that documented evidence with them, because insurance companies can only assess your claim based on the evidence that you're actually providing them with. And I'm sure that they're going to be compassionate and flexible, but try and help them to do their job the best way they can as well.
Yeah, so have everything there that you could possibly need.
Yeah.
And I guess the first port of call is obviously dealing with your property manager as well, finding out what information you can gather from them, having a look again at that fine print that we so often just sign away and go, that will be fine.
And looking at what kind of tenancy you have, whether it's a fixed term tenancy and, that sort of thing as well.
Yeah, so really find out the nuts and bolts of it. Mollie, thank you very much. Some great advice there too. And as I mentioned, remember the Hornby office is open. So I'll give you that number again, which is 3495236. If you'd like any further information on what we've talked about or anything at all to do with what's been happening in the weekend, that number again for the Hornby branch of Citizens Advice is 3495236.